So today we're going to talk about going on a journey to luxury. And in this conversation, we're going to be focused specifically on style. And why are we focusing on style? Because you cannot have a luxurious lifestyle without building a luxurious style profile. And guess what? Style has a lot more to do with what you probably think it does. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, so I'm going to give you 10 steps to start on this process of getting into your style of luxury. Okay. Step one is definitely going to be defining what luxury looks like to you. This is easy, right? Because you kind of probably already know what that looks like for you. It might be going on a luxurious vacation looks like luxury to you. It might be that woman who you always see across the street from your job who has her cute outfit on, who always wears heels, who always has a little cup of tea in her hand. It's giving a vibe and energy. So determine what luxury looks like for you, because that's going to be the starting point of where you're going to go into next. Step two, take a look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with who you are. This is not an opportunity to punish yourself or to judge yourself or to look at what somebody else looks like and assume that's what you should look like. Luxury doesn't care about that, okay? What you're going to be assessing is your skin tone, your body type, your body shape, your hair color, your eye color, if you want to change it, if you want to keep it as it is. How tall are you? How short are you? Are you a heels person or a flat person? You need to also look at what is going to work best for your body type, hair type, and skin color. I will be honest with you, as a dark-skinned girl, I love a lot of looks that I would see on lighter skinned or Spanish women or any other nationality or very light skinned versions of Black women. And I would sometimes try out those looks. And what I realized was that they were making my eyes look darker. I love a good smoky look on somebody. But for me, it just didn't work. A smoky look can look amazing on any skin color. That's not what I'm saying. But I had to assess myself and figure out what made me feel the prettiest, what made me feel the brightest, what made me feel the most confident when I walk outside, when I'm in the house, or when I'm running errands. So I choose colors and vibrance based on my skin color. I also do the same with hair. I love fun colored hair. I think it's so cute. But for me, it didn't work. It didn't give the same energy or vibe. There was too much contrast focused on the hair instead of focused on the overall look. So choose however you want, but focus on what is going to work best for you. And if you can find examples of what looks similar to you that you feel like looks like style, that would be very helpful, I'm sure. Step four is once you determine a style that fits for you. So in this situation, you're going to base it on who you are, as I just said. So determining the style that fits best for you may be, I'm going to try and use an example. I think J-Lo is amazing. But a lot of her looks wouldn't necessarily work for me. Our body types are a little bit different, not too dissimilar. Our heights are definitely different. And our fashion style is a little bit different. If I look at somebody like Tracee Ellis Ross, she's a great inspiration for me. We don't have the same skin color, but we have the same ideology in terms of fashion. Similar body types. She's a little bit better body than me. But I can kind of use her as a reference point when I am looking to style up or style down. Let's get into step number 5. Step 5 is optional, but highly recommended. And that is create a vision board for your style. And how you're going to do that, the best way to do it is to try Pinterest or Lemonade. Lemonade is a newer platform. It's very similar to Pinterest. If you're familiar with Pinterest, just use Pinterest. It's super easy. All you're going to do is go into the search bar. You can even use Google for this, and you're going to put in luxury style or luxury looks for a tall woman. Luxury looks for a woman that lives in California. Luxury looks for a mother of 4. Luxury looks for a shorter woman. Luxury looks for a darker skinned woman. Whatever works, whatever you've determined is your style, this is what we're going to search for, okay? Now that you've searched for that, we're going to start making an actual vision board. And Pinterest actually does have a setup now where you can create an actual vision board. You put all of the things you like into a board. If you're not familiar with Pinterest, let me know. I'll give you a tutorial. But most people at this point are. So you just create a board. Once you create the board, you put everything in there that you like about the styles that you've seen. And as we go through the rest of this video, you're going to understand that there's more than one version of style, right? You're going to look at the looks, the cars, the places, everything that makes you feel like that is luxury. I love that. You know, when it resonates with you, that's in your board. You can take that board and you can take those photos and you can make an actual vision board, which is just basically looking like a collage. And it will give you a whole vibe. It'll give you an energy. It'll give you a feeling of how luxury looks to you. And it will be probably different than how luxury looks to me. But it's very important that we stay at a high standard for ourselves. Now that you've created a board, you're going to need to save this board somewhere, probably on your phone, somewhere that you can have access to it easily, or have the Pinterest app on your phone. You're going to need it when you go shopping, whether that's online or in person. You're going to need it when you start thinking about what it is that you want. Here's what's really important. Stop buying things that no longer suit you or where you're going or the person that you want to be. Make sure that even if you love something, if it doesn't fit the new version of you or the better version of you, let's just leave it. It's okay. You don't need to have everything that you want if it doesn't fit who you're going to be, because the likelihood of you really using it or wearing it is going to be very slim. If you really feel like you must have it, then of course buy it by all means. But let's try and stay on track by keeping our Pinterest app available and accessible to us. Now we're going to talk about step 6. Step 6, you're going to take inventory. You're going to take a look at your closet and you're going to see what you already have. You will be surprised how many pieces are probably in your closet that fit some of those styles and looks on your Pinterest board, and definitely give you the energy or the vibe that you were looking for when it comes to luxury. So please take inventory before you do any spending. You can mix and match some of the things you already have. You might only need one key piece to pull a whole look together. You might not need to completely reinvent your whole new life. I'm sure there must be pieces that you always will love and keep. For me, a basic t-shirt, a good pair of jeans, a nice shoe, and a blazer, chef's kiss for a casual day. Almost everybody has most of these things in their closet. Okay, so we're on step 7. Step 7 is really taking inventory of what you have and saying what pieces do you really need, what pieces can you let go of, determining what fits best in terms of what you already have. Here's the thing. There are going to be times where you really need to and want to invest in what is going on with your wardrobe, what is going on with your accessories, your hair. Invest in pieces that make sense for the long-term version of you. If you can cut back on some cost, I would say getting a nice crew neck stretch t-shirt, which is one of my faves. Maybe you don't have to splurge on that. You certainly don't need to buy a $150 t-shirt. You can definitely buy something great at H&M, Banana Republic, and dare I say even Walmart, which is one of my favorite places to get t-shirts. But when it comes to a blazer, for example, shoes are my favorite. You want to invest in quality for things that are going to last you long term. If you are buying more trendy pieces, things that are just really hot and really fit your vibe for the time being, you can splurge, of course, if you have it. But if you are looking at evaluating your spending, which is something we're going to talk about later, then this is where you might go to a lower end shopping establishment. Fashion Nova has great pieces that can look very styled, but you just have to pay attention to the looks. You can also try AliExpress or different online outlets. I know there's quite a few that sell things that are less expensive that can give the style look that you need. Sometimes you can style very low end pieces with higher end pieces and still give exactly the vibe you're looking for. As a matter of fact, almost all the time. It does not take a lot to put a simple dress on, put on a blazer and a pair of shoes. And out of 2 of those 3 things can be high or low end, mid end, and you just need one really strong piece that's a staple in your wardrobe that really has longevity. Step 8. this is not just about fashion. When you are going to go back and look at your Pinterest board, as I said, we're going to need to keep this relevant and keep it handy. That Pinterest board is going to be your best friend for a while. When you go back and look at the Pinterest board, you're going to look at more than just the clothes. We get that you like the clothes, but you're going to look at how the person takes care of themselves. Is their skin in good shape? Does it look like they get facials? Does it look like they wear makeup? Even if it's a fresh day look or very light something, are their eyebrows done? Do they have lashes? Is their hair done? Are they wearing jewelry? What kind of jewelry? Are they wearing things that are low key, but you still get a vibe from them that there's something luxurious about them? Look at their posture. Are they standing up straight or slouched over? What are they walking like? Are they with other people? What do their friends look like? Where are they? Location is a pretty big deal in this kind of process mentally and of a journey. Are they located in an area that looks like luxury? Are they located in an area, and it doesn't have to be Los Angeles or New York. It could literally be Minnesota, but Minnesota giving a vibe at a great boutique or a great cafe. What kind of energy are they exuding when it makes you feel like luxury? That's what we're going to check in for. That's what we're looking for. That's going to give us some guidelines and some direction for what we're going to do next. Step 9. What are you going to be doing now that you have this great new look? You've got this great new vibe, this great new confidence. You're loving yourself. You're loving your vibe. You're loving the way you're taking care of yourself. Your skin is looking glowy. You got your hair done. You're getting your nails manicured. You are looking all the way vibed up. Where are you going? We're not doing this just to stay in the house. And I'm not saying you're going out to show yourself off, but you want to start living in a certain lifestyle that draws more luxury to you. You may not have been doing that in the past. This is your opportunity to say, okay, I'll use myself as an example. I thought and always imagined golf being something that was a great example of luxury. People that did business, that had money, played golf. Tennis was another sport that felt like luxury. Going to fine restaurants and having experiences felt like luxury. By the way, going to a fine restaurant doesn't have to mean expensive restaurant. It just means having something that has a great ambiance, something that looks beautiful when you walk in. There are lots of places you can go that have great vibes. Sometimes they're playing music in the background, where the cost is really not as expensive as you think it is. Even some of the more chain places can give a vibe of luxury. Do not feel like you can't go to Cheesecake Factory, because who's going to be talking about you? Cheesecake Factory is wonderful. I love it in brunch mode. Seeing people in there for brunch is so vibey. Everybody's kind of dressed a certain way. It's like casual luxe, and people are just talking and relaxed and having a good time. The food is good, and the experience is what you're looking at. You're not just looking at expensive. You're looking at what kind of things can you start doing and being exposed to in this new great era of being very styled up. Okay. Step 10. Also very important for style. Who are you associated with? Who are you hanging out with? Okay. I'm sure you've heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And this is the tricky area. When you're changing your life and you grew up around certain people and these are your besties and you don't want to abandon your friends, or when you are looking at doing different things that you know your current circle wouldn't really be interested in, then it may not be necessary for you to completely cut people off and say, okay, you're not going on the same journey as me. There's 2 things that can happen here. Well, 3. The first thing is that you can add on to your friends by meeting a new circle of people. You can start to go to join clubs, organizations. Meetup was a great place to kind of network and do different events. If you've never heard of it, go to meetup.com. And find people who are like-minded. If you like sport, like golf or tennis, or if it's baseball or soccer, which is also giving luxury vibes. I have no idea why, but then start associating yourself in those, putting yourself into those events, joining those type of organizations and getting involved and meeting people who are already doing that. And you might start to see you're having different experiences with these people. It doesn't mean, again, you can't still keep your old friends, but it just means you're adding something new to kind of start you in the direction of the lifestyle that you actually want to live. In addition to that, you can, with your friends, talk to them. Have you guys ever even talked about going on this journey together? Have you had the conversation where you're like, I really want to travel more. I really want to get better with my finances. I want to invest more in myself, in the community. Have you guys had that conversation? Do you even know if your friends are maybe thinking the same thing, but we're scared to say something? So talk to your friends and see if they want to go on this journey with you. Maybe you guys can join these clubs and organizations together. Maybe you guys can start changing up your wardrobe. Maybe you can do wardrobe swapping because you have different body types and didn't realize that what she had actually looks better on you. So obviously the third option is, yes, cutting people off, but I do not recommend that as a start. It'll just deter you from enjoying this process. Okay? So I hope that you understand now that style is about more than just fashion. It is about pulling the right looks together. It is about your vibe, your energy. It is about your confidence. It is about what you decide to do with your time and your money. Style is about feeling like you are the best version of you every single day. And it does not, again, have to be you being dolled up, made up, all the way zhuzhed up. It literally, and my favorite go-to, is always going to be a great white t-shirt, a crisp button down. And everybody's saying white, and I do get the white, but I also like a colored button down every now and then. A pair of jeans, a pair of slacks, a pair of great shoes, flat or heels, whatever you're comfortable in. Luxury and style are synonymous because these are people who take care of themselves and take care of their environment and enjoy life. That is the journey that we're going on, and that is what we're going to start with. And you cannot forget style when we talk about money, and we talk about the community, and we talk about parenting, and we talk about our skincare. We want to make sure that we include fashion, we include our energy, our vibe, and our confidence. So thank you for watching. I'm so happy that you stayed here with me. And I'm glad that you're going on this journey with me. We are here. We are going to improve our finances, our travel experiences, our relationships, our businesses. We're going to improve our connections to fashion. We're going to definitely work on our self-care. We're going to do better in and around our communities. And we're going to just have the most spectacular lifestyle overall. It's a pleasure to see you again. Okay, bye.